we have an intro video. It's not just my ugly mug. Speaking of mugs, I'll get to that one in a second. I'm calling it Boebert or Boebert Gate. Enjoy today's intro.
Julian is a mermaid found in DODEA elementary school libraries, describes a boy who wants to become a mermaid. During the book, the boy repeatedly strips down to his underwear. Later, he puts on lipstick and dons a headdress.
Inappropriate for children. I think most people can agree with that. They're contrasting it to the infrared video from within this theater playing Beetlejuice. Why does a theater have infrared night vision goggles? I don't know. I'm not asking questions, but they think they've got the gotcha on the hypocrisy. But let's just play this out.
He is then given a costume jewelry before being taken to the NYC Mermaid Parade, where he can freely express himself.
For those who are listening on podcasts at Viva Barnes Law for the People on Podbean, whoever is going out with Lauren Boebert is touching her boobie by the look of it in a movie theater, a crowded movie theater. In the dark of the crowded movie theater, her date, I don't know if it's her husband, I don't think it's her husband, is touching her boobie. Won't someone think of the children and they think they've got the gotcha of hypocrisy? The left can't meme. The left can't humor because they lack insight and they lack introspection. They think this is the biggest gotcha ever. I'm going to explain to them why they are fools. But let's just let this play out. I just have to narrate it for the podcast.
Here's the bottom line. Let's stop grooming our children.
Apparently, the dude's touching her boob again, for those who are listening. Stop grooming our children. They think it's a big gotcha that someone on a date had her date touch her boob in a dark movie theater.
Including our military kids.
Touch her boob? That's assault, brother. That's Billy Madison. Okay, hold on. I'm going to let this finish here.
It's gross. It is wrong. I am here to take a stand against it. And I urge my colleagues to pass my amendment to protect our military children from obscene content they should not be exposed to.
For those who are listening, the dude's really massaging it. Maybe, I don't know, I don't want to be so judgmental. Maybe he's looking, he's doing a breast exam. He's looking for lumps. I've got to tell you, people, anybody who thinks that that's a gotcha and that Lauren Boebert has somehow disqualified herself from her positions on what many people perceive to be, and I'll say rightly so, the grooming of children. Anybody who thinks that that is a gotcha, you're idiots. Period. Full stop. That might be inappropriate. It might be a little bit lewd, lascivious, maybe. It is two grown adults on a date, and she was apparently touching his legs, but maybe she's looking for lumps in his upper thigh. I have no idea. It's two adults, consenting adults, in a relationship. What I believe is probably a monogamous relationship, catching feels in a dark movie theater. I got to tell you something. Like when I was a 14-year-old kid on a date and you try to reach over and put your arm around your date in a movie theater. In a dark movie theater, it is not lewd and lascivious. Why they have night vision goggles, I don't know either. But they're in public. They don't really have an expectation of privacy. People think that this is a gotcha. You have some idiot lefty liars on the interwebs saying that they were in a crowded theater full of children, doing this in front of children. It was, from what I can tell, by the way, a 7:30 showing of Beetlejuice in Denver. 7:30. The show is 2.5 hours long, which means 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10. That show would be ending at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, a school night for parents out there. That wasn't a kids' show. They weren't at a library, a public library in front of kids, twerking and asking kids to stick dollar bills down there. They were at an evening show, not in a theater of children. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, the showing of Beetlejuice, where was it? I had to go get just to show you the homework that I do, just to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. Denver Center Performing Arts. By the way, if this is not the right theater and they're not the right show, please someone tell me. Learn more. Intermission? Yes. A very long evening show that is not for children. Advisory. Contains strong language, mature references, and a lot of the crazy, inappropriate stuff you would expect from a deranged demon. Strobe lights, pyrotechnics, effects, fire, theatrical smoke, haze, electronic cigarettes. Oh, and electronic cigarettes are used during the performance. This was not a kids show of Beetlejuice. This was not, what's that guy who did all the animated series things? I don't want to rely on the chat to get the information for me. He did all of the animation thing. He did Big Fish. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy until the chat refreshes and gives me his name. It has Orton in it, right? The name has, this is at an evening show of a show that is not for kids. Tim Burton, thank you very much. Oh, Orton, yeah. I say it's a nothing burger. It's inappropriate. She shouldn't have been vaping, although it's very interesting that she gets faulted for vaping in the crowd while the show itself has vaping in it. Oh my goodness. I've got to pull this one up. I wasn't sure that I was going to bring this one up, but I'm going to bring it up right now. Do you remember the guy that I got mad at last week? Tristan Snell, who said 9/11 was a terrorist attack. January 6th was a terrorist attack. And I called him an effing idiot and a wild piece of shizzle to the tizzle. I've got to find his tweet on this. He said, vaping can cause miscarriages and can kill a child. I've got to find this because it will blow your mind. The guy who compared 9/11 to January 6th in all his callous, immoral, inhumane stupidity had this to say about Lauren Boebert's reckless disregard for the allegedly pregnant woman behind her. Is this it? Here we go. Lauren Boebert vaped next to a pregnant woman and refused to stop. First of all, she took one puff, and that's the last we saw of the vaping. First of all, she was in front of her, if it changes anything, Tristan Snell. God, I don't even know who this person is. She refused to stop. That's part of the reason why she was kicked out of the movie theater. Vaping around a pregnant woman can cause the death of the fetus or cause them to be stillborn. Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure, Tristan, the same jackass buffoon who compared 9/11 to January 6th, thinks that a puff of vape in an open theater, if that were the case, well, first of all, you got to have a problem with a couple of other things there, Tristan Snell. Who is he? Tristan Snell is a lawyer, fighter for democracy, advocate and investor, prosecuted Trump University at New York Attorney General, commentator, MSNBC. Now I know what a NAFO is, by the way. That's North American Fella Organization. Oh, yeah, no, he's vaping around a child can cause a death of the stillborn. And I know there's a bunch of hypocrisy jokes that people are going to make for a political party that wants to talk about late-term schmortions. I was also going to bring that one up, X off the grid. Is it the best? I hate using the word the best. Look, it's obviously juvenile. She should not be vaping, catching feels. Have I ever grabbed my wife's booty in public? Yeah, I've grabbed my wife's butt in public. Has it embarrassed her? Yeah, probably. And I do it not necessarily, I have done it. Not necessarily in the darkness of a movie theater because I hate plays and I hate musicals. This is a nothing burger. And I dare say this, Lauren Boebert is up for re-election. This is going to help her in the same way that idiotic video of AOC dancing on the roof helped her in as much as it did. It's going to humanize her. I think it makes her look a little childish, a little immature, but big.